first rider filed over the ridge, a smile crossed Thurman's dry lips. In their olive-green uniforms, they rode with military precision. The Federales soon came to a halt at the base of the slope, 100 yards back from the Rio Grande. They formed a line to the right, and then a non-com with a white flag raced to the river and skidded to a hard stop at the water's edge. "My commandant says that you are not welcome ever again in Mexico, Senor Baker." Thurman rose to his feet and pushed the straw sombrero back on his shoulders. The rawhide string caught at his throat. "Give that son of a bitch my best, soldier, and thanks for the warning." Then he saluted him, and Thurman's men snickered. He watched the non-com ride back and speak to his officer. As he expected, the unit did an about-face, filed out, and went back over the ridge. When the last soldier disappeared, the boys rose with a cheer, gathered their rifles, pistols, and cartridges, and started for their horses. "That was Captain Ortega," Ramon said. His dark eyes narrowed with hatred. "He hung my brother Manuel, that son of a coyote bitch." "What for?" Ramon grinned. "For being in bed with his wife when he came home." They all laughed, clapping each other on the shoulder and raising clouds of dust as they waded in the loose sand for their mounts. Thurman looked back one more time to be satisfied, and then he followed his boys. "A man I know up in the hill country is going to be real proud of these ponies. Yes, sirree. I'm real proud of you boys, too, but I'm even prouder that not one of us is getting our necks stretched." They all agreed. Ramon handed Tomas his rifle to hold and ran for his horse. With both hands on the top of its butt, he vaulted in the saddle. The cheers and catcalls followed his leap aboard. "Make my escape easier." Ramon reined his horse around, caught his rifle, and left out to ring in some of the strays. By late evening of the third day, Thurman's outfit approached the 7-bar headquarters. Thurman sat the sorrel on a small rise and looked over the green scene. Spread out like an oasis in the dull, spiny brush country of South Texas, tall, gnarled cottonwoods huddled over the cienega that covered 100 acres or more up and down the wide draw. He nodded with approval to his boys, and then he loped ahead to open the gate of the lot for them. The horses were soon headed into a large rail-fenced trap where Old Man Hanson's ranch hands had put out hay in small piles for the herd. "Thurman Baker!" The salt-and-pepper-bearded Bert Hanson came out of the door of his adobe jacal, hobbling on a crutch, and blinked in disbelief at the sight of the horses filing into the pen. He looked Thurman up and down. "Why, in all that leather clothing and sombrero, you could pass for a damn Mexican. I'm not used to seeing you out of a business suit." "I needed that identity where I've been." "I bet that's so." The old man put the crutch under his arm and was ready to move on. "I want a closer look at them fancy scudders." The two men stood at the fence, and Hanson admired the herd for a while. Then he turned back to speak. "By God, you done got the best set of horses yet. Some hacienda guy is sure pissing in his pants over them rascals being taken. You got a good market for 'em?" "Yes. I don't like to risk my neck unless it's worthwhile." "Oh, I knew that. You're a good man, Thurman Baker, and I'm always glad when you come by to see me. By God, you didn't miss the time you said you'd be back here by much." "We're close to my schedule." Hanson nodded. Thurman watched his head-tossing ponies arguing with each other over the hay in the fiery light of sundown. The bloody glare glistened on their sleek hides. They were the best he'd ever brought from south of the border. These barbed geldings represented some of the finest animals in their breed, a bloodline that went back to when the Moors conquered Spain. Before that, their ancestors were the desert horses of the Bedouins. "How much do I owe you for tonight?" Thurman asked. "I'd not charge you, but we'd get in a damn big argument about that. $5 is enough for the hay and feeding them boys." Thurman nodded at the man in overalls. Hanson was the picture of a damned